Good day, everyone. Welcome to our grade 6 mathematics class. This is our lesson for Module 1, Quarter 1. I am your teacher, Teacher Zaida. Our topic for today is addition and subtraction of fractions. Okay, before we start, let's have a review. So when we say similar fractions, these are fractions with the same denominators. For example, 1/5 and 3/5. Dissimilar fractions. These are fractions with different denominators. For example, 1/5 and 3/8. Okay, let's start our discussion with addition and subtraction of similar fractions. So let's have an example. Let's add 1/5 and 3/5. Again, these are similar fractions because their denominators are the same. So to add similar fractions, we just add the numerator and then we copy the common denominator. Okay, again, just add the numerators and then copy the common denominator. Did you get that? Okay, let's have another example. Let's add 5/8 and 1/8. So again, these fractions are similar fractions. Okay, so to add similar fractions again, we just have to add the numerators. 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. And then we just copy the common denominator. Now, you have to check if our answer is in its simplest form or lowest term. Again, a fraction is in its simplest form if the numerator and the denominator has no other common factor except 1. Okay? Now, if 6 and 8 has other common factors except 1, then we have to simplify 6/8. Okay? So now, let's look at 6 and 8. Can we divide 6/8 or 6 and 8 by other number except 1? Okay, yes. We can divide 6 and 8 by 2. Okay, so let's use continuous division to simplify 6/8. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. Can we divide 3 and 4 by any other factor except 1? Okay, since we cannot divide 3 and 4 by any other number except 1, then we're done with our continuous division. And our final answer is 3/4. Did you get that? Okay. Okay, how about in subtraction? We apply the same rule. Okay, so in subtraction, since these are similar fractions, we just subtract the numerators. 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. And then we just copy the common denominator. And then again, we have to simplify. So 3/9, let's use again continuous division. 3 and 9 can be divided by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. We're done with our continuous division, and our final answer is 1/3. Did you get that? Okay, good job. Okay, how about addition and subtraction of dissimilar fractions? Okay, let's add 2/5 and 1/3. Now, since these are dissimilar fractions, we cannot do what we did on similar fractions. Okay? Why? Because they don't have common denominator. So what do we have to do? They must be similar fractions by finding the LCD. Okay? And how do we get the LCD of the fractions? When we say LCD, it is the least common denominator. And this common denominator is simply the least common multiple of the denominators. Okay? So again, let's do 2/5 plus 1/3. So we look at the denominators 5 and 3. And we have to find the LCD using the listing method. Okay? So list the multiples of 5. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, and so on. Multiples of 3, we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. I could stop at 15. Why? Because 15 as a multiple of 3 can already be found in the list of multiples of 5. Okay? So meaning the least common multiple of 5 and 3 is 15. Okay? Okay, let's change 2/5 and 1/3 to similar fractions. Okay? So for 2/5, we change now the denominator to 15. So again, 15 is the LCD of the fractions 2/5 and 1/3. Okay, and then we divide 15 by 5, we get 3. And then multiply 3 to 2, we get 6. So 2/5 will become 6 over 15. Did you get that? Okay, we now do 1/3. So again, we change the denominator to 15. And then we just divide 15 by 3, we get 5. And then 5 times 1 is equal to 5. So we change 1/3 to 5 over 15. Now as you can see, these are now similar fractions. So we can just add the numerators now. So 6 plus 5 will get 11. And then we just copy the common denominator, 15. Now 11 over 15 is already in its simplest form. Why? Because 11 and 15 has no other common factor except 1. Okay, let's try now subtracting dissimilar fractions. Let's have 6/8 minus 1/4. So again, these are dissimilar fractions because their denominators are not the same. So we find the LCD of 8 and 4 using listing method again. So 8, we have 8, 16, and 24. For 4, so multiples of 4, we have 4, 8, and so on. Again, we could stop at 8. Why? Because 8 is already in the list of multiples of 8. So our LCD, or least common denominator, is 8. Okay? Okay, let's change 6/8 and 1/4 to similar fractions. Now again, since our LCD is 8, 6/8 will still be 6/8. Okay? But if we want to check Let's do what we did earlier, which is to change the denominator to the LCD of the fractions, and then we just divide and then multiply. Okay? 8 divided by 8 is 1, and 1 times 6 is 6. Okay? So 6/8 will still be 6/8. Did you get that? Okay, let's do 1/4. So let's change the denominator of the fraction to 8. And then again, we just divide and then multiply. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so we now have 6/8 minus 2/8. These are now similar fractions, so we could just subtract the numerators. 6 minus 2 is equal to 4, and then just copy the common denominator. Okay? So we have 4/8. Did you get that? Okay, good job. Okay, we have to check if 4/8 is already in its simplest form. Okay? So we have to check if the only common factor of 4 and 8 is 1. Can we divide 4 and 8 by any other number except 1? Okay, yes, very good, we can. We can divide 4 and 8 by 2. Okay, and we can also divide 4 and 8 by 4. Okay, so let's use 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Okay, 1 and 2 has only one common factor, and that is 1. So, meaning we are now done with our continuous division. And our final answer is 1/2. Did you get that? Okay, very good. Okay, let's have another example. Let's add 5/6 and 3/9. So again, our first step is to find the LCD of the fractions. So let's list the multiples of 6. So multiples of 6, we have 6, 12, 18, 24, and so on. Multiples of 9, we have 9, 18, and so on. Again, we stopped at 18 because 18 is already in the list of the multiples of 6. Okay, so meaning the LCD or least common denominator of 5/6 and 3/9 is 18. Okay, and then we change these fractions into similar fractions. So let's do 5/6. We change the denominator 6 to 18. Okay, and again, just divide and then multiply. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Okay, so 5/6 will become 15 over 18. Okay, let's do 3/9. Let's change the denominator to 18. And then again, just divide and multiply. 18 divided by 9 is 2. And then multiply it to 3, we get 6. So 3/9 will become 6 over 18. Since these are now similar fractions, we just add the numerators. 15 plus 6 is 21. Okay? And then just copy the common denominator, 18. Is 21 over 18 in its lowest term or simplest form? Okay, very good. It is not yet in its lowest term, so we have to simplify. Okay, let's simplify 21 over 18. Okay, to change 21 over 18 to its simplest form, we have to make this as a mixed number. Okay, and to do that, we have to divide the numerator by the denominator. Okay, so 21 divided by 18 will get 1. Okay, and then 1 times 18 is 3. 3 is our remainder. Okay, so we will have 1 and 3 over 18. Okay, now look at 3 over 18. Is 3 over 18 already in its simplest form? Okay, very good. No. So we have to simplify 3 over 18. So again, let's use continuous division method. So what can we divide for 3 and 18 except 1? Okay, very good. We divide 3 and 18 by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 18 divided by 3 is 6. Okay, so our final answer is 1 and 1/6. Did you get that? Okay, very good. Okay, remember to add or subtract similar fractions. Just have to first add or subtract the numerators. Second is to copy the common denominator and simplify if necessary. Okay, again, X, A, C, S. Add or subtract, copy the common denominator, and then simplify. You get that? Okay. To add or subtract dissimilar fractions, first, change the fractions to similar fractions. Add or subtract as we do similar fractions. And simplify or cast. Questions? Okay, I hope you were able to understand our lesson for today and is now ready for your module. Thank you for listening. Until next time, goodbye.